It's a shame if you run a racetrack like that and have to change gears. That's ridiculous. I mean, the way the race played out, strategy was really important. I'm going to take like the 3-car. 3-car was in the back, and the 8-car was back there with him. And then all of a sudden, the way they made their pit stop deals.
They're running first and second.
Most of the season, Fords hadn't even been in the race.
I know.
And the Fords really dominated that race. If it hadn't been for the 20-car, then it would have been an all-Ford show. But the 20-car was the one that could come through the crowd. When he caught somebody, he passed them. Okay, let's try it again, man.
Oh, boy.
What'd you think?
Well, when I looked down...
We're still here at the museum in Level Cross. Okay. We finally made it back.
But we seen the big arc in St. Louis yesterday from an airplane, or from a car, too.
Well, really, you could see it from the ratrack.
Yeah.
It's pretty neat.
Yeah.
Just across the river.
It's quite a few...
Yeah.
Quite a few highways out there. But as I, looking over the engineer's shoulder and looking at the track, I thought I was looking at Darlington.
With all the gear changes and stuff.
Well, no, I'm just saying with the shape of it, the egg shape.
Yeah, 1 and 2 is a lot sharper than 3 and 4.
Yeah. But it's nothing like Darlington, even though looking down like that it is.
It's a flat racetrack.
And it's flat.
Yeah.
And they'd get used to shifting for the road course coming up this week, because they shift twice, I'm assuming, for each corner. I know some of them did, but...
it's a shame that you run a racetrack like that and have to change gears. That's ridiculous. I mean...
Well, I won't go there, but...
okay.
It's the way the rules is and the way the transmissions are, too, and everything in today's world. But it real long straightaways... And the tires didn't give up that much, Richard.
They really didn't.
And it really got the race mixed up, because there was people staying out and people pitting and different strategies.
People getting 2 tires.
Yeah, got the 43 really, got 2 tires one time.
The way the race played out, strategy was really important. I mean, I'm going to take like the 3-car. The 3-car was in the back, okay? And the 8-car was back there with him. And then all of a sudden, the way they made their pit stops deals.
They're running first and second.
and the 3-car was able to stay up there.
Yeah.
The 8-car probably would if the 5-car hadn't have took him out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, okay.
But, when I looked at the race, looked at the qualifying and stuff, for some reason it was a Ford. There for most of the season, Fords hadn't even been in the race.
I know.
And the Fords really dominated that race. If it hadn't been for the 20-car, then it would have been an all-Ford show.
But the 20-car was in a class by himself.
He was in a class by himself. He definitely was.
But
him and the 12-car, they put on one more heck of a show there at the end of the race. You know what I mean?
And then he lost the cylinder and just put him out of business.
And then the 19 got to pushing him down the straightaway, try to keep him up.
But, it seemed like our pit stops, I sat on the box on the 43, and, of course, our pit stops was good, but the pit road is so narrow, Richard. He had to stop one time because the track was blocked down there, and of course, it hurt a lot of people besides him, and it cost us about 10 positions at first, and we never overcome it. It's probably the only race this year that sometime during the race, he couldn't run as fast as the leader.
Yeah.
And he never did.
No,
he never did.
He just had one speed. With new tires, he'd run maybe 8 or 10 laps, and then he'd settle down, and he'd run the rest of the race at that particular speed. So he just had one speed. And the big deal, though, if he could have ever got up in the group, okay, you know what I mean? If he got up to 10th or 15th or something, then he could have probably stayed there. But the way it was, he was caught back in 28th or something.
And then, of course, on the cycles of run, they had a caution where we had pitted and got caught a lap down, had to take a wave around, and that put us
in back of the field.
In the back. But, just looking at the rundown, Richard, here, taking nothing away from nobody, but the 3-car, that's the best race he's had all year.
Yeah, but what happened, he wasn't that good until he got up with a good crowd. Once he got with a good crowd, then he held his own the whole race. And like I say, I think the 8-car would have done the same thing, except he got eliminated. But, after watching the race and looking at it, the Chevrolet's done terrible. I mean, they were never in contention to even be up front. The Fords were the best. The Toyotas, I guess, wound up being the second best.
Well, the Toyotas are going to be the best if that 20 hadn't.
Well, the 20 car outrun all the rest of the Toyotas really bad.
Yeah.
The 11 car, what's the 11 car? Yeah. You wouldn't even know he was in the race, and he wound up second.
Well,
I mean, you never seen him never seen him racing with anybody. And I know he did, but, he just...
Okay, another consistent driver everywhere, the 24 car, and he run 15th, Richard.
I know.
And
yeah.
with all the paint schemes and everything, I'm sitting on the box, and I don't even remember seeing it. I can't either.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to have a stopwatch and could keep up with you on account of the colors and everything, but boy, I'm just along for the ride anymore. But it had a big crowd, Richard.
No, it was really a perfect day, the whole deal. Everything went off good, and really, it wound up really being a very interesting race at the end of the race, because the 20 and the 12 car had done all the racing and stuff. In fact, the 20 got by the 12 one time, and then the 12 got right back by him. But that would have been the race all the way to the end. If the 20 had ever got in front of the 12, he'd have run off and left it. But he could catch him in the middle of the corner, but they don't have any horsepower, so the outside groove coming off the corners is just so much momentum that the inside couldn't overcome it. But once he had trouble, the 20 had trouble, then all of a sudden, here's the 2 car. He was beating the leader probably half, 3/4 second a lap, even before the 12 run out of gas. But he wouldn't have caught him. He'd have been right with him. But he really caught up the last 7, 8 laps.
But they probably had.
But I think probably the 12 had probably
saving.
He was probably trying to save fuel.
Save fuel,
you know what I mean? And he was right before he gets the white flag, and thing just stopped. You know what I mean? And he wound up way back down there, 16th or something.
Who's that?
The 12 car.
The 12 car was 24th.
Actually,
Yeah, but
that's how close all the cars were.
And our cars run real close to each other all day, which wasn't that competitive. But the pole setter just barely beat us. He beat us one position.
But when they threw the green flag, the 34 just ran off and left everybody.
But here comes that 20.
But I said, he's going to be tough. But once he got back in the crowd of people, then he couldn't show his dominance.
Yeah,
but the 20 car was the one that could come through the crowd. When he caught somebody, he passed them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the strategy was something else, and with the tires not falling off that much.
That made it more
that changes everything.
The whole complexity of the race. Because everybody was gambling, do I stay out? And that's where basically a bunch of them stayed out one time till the last part of the race. In fact, I think the 43 car got up to 7th or 8th because everybody stopped, but then he had to stop.
Yeah.
But if it had a caution along then,
there you go with that if again.
But they didn't have. But that's what they was gambling on.
Yeah.
They figured if we stayed out here, we're not going to outrun anybody, but maybe things will fall our way. And if they didn't, something different. But it didn't happen.
There's a lot of cars out there looking for cautions to help them late.
The six car was an awful good car too.
Yeah.
You mean? And his strategy was stay out, stay out, stay out. If he'd have stopped with everybody else, again, it could have been a different situation at the end of the race.
Have we done run one? We've done run one road course this year, right? Coda.
We're
run Texas. Okay.
I don't consider that a road course because it's so much different than anything we run.
Okay. Yeah.
But when we go to Sonoma, we run Sonoma, been running for years, and then we run the one in New York. Okay. And they call them both road courses, but if you look back in the books and stuff, when you go to Sonoma, then the road course guys that's really, really good don't really dominate. Now, when you go to New York, then the road race guys overcome the regular racers. But regular racers, for some reason, the way Sonoma is, then they can be competitive with any road race drivers.
Well,
And that makes it really interesting.
well, whenever we do the show the next time, you'll be coming from California, and I'll have my feet up in my living room watching the race on television. So good luck with everything.
We'll give it another try.
Okay.
Then I guess after that we go to Iowa, and we've never been to Iowa, so that's going to be interesting because
Not with a
completely
cup
different
car,
race.
but the Infinitive have. So
Well, yeah,
they'll.
the trucks have been there
Yeah.
also. Oh, definitely they should. I mean, way back they give a waiver for I think 12 races for Kyle, and Kyle winds up winning. Not that Kyle.
Kyle Busch.
Kyle Busch, and he winds up winning the championship. So definitely, last year they lent the 9 car. So yeah, anytime, and plus he's already won a race, so that would automatically put him in.
You can't. It's hard to predict NASCAR, and I know they had rather had Larson at Charlotte, and he was at Indy. So
We usually try to make it at least once a week. Sometimes I can't go. Dale goes every week. So, when we go over there, we just confuse things. We ask questions and really don't know enough about how things is working to ask intelligent questions. So a lot of times, I just go and follow Dale and let him ask all the questions.
yeah, I enjoy going over and talking to the boys, then go through the marketing area, and it's amazing to see them wrap one of them cars. And it's so ugly to start with, then it turns out just better than a good paint job. So they've been lucky this year, staying way ahead because they hadn't tore up many cars, and but yeah, I still enjoy going. It's kind of a long ride, but not a bad ride, and I enjoy talking to the boys.
I think that's been in the works for a pretty good while. It's been out there. Everybody's discussed it. So basically, when they did it, it really wasn't a surprise to anybody. I think being you've heard all the rumors and they come out of that shop, then everybody really knew things were going on. The deal is they got so many people working over there, and then they got the drivers that I think they had to give them sort of a warning that, hey, it's liable to come down like this, and you might be better to kind of look around and see if you can get you another job. And they will try to help the people to try to get settled in, and that's one good thing about that operation.
Yeah, I was talking to some of them yesterday, and it kind of caught some of the workers off guard, and the drivers, I know they're talking to other teams for putting out their resume, and they'll be driving hard to show themselves from here on, show what they got. But it's been confusing to the workers, according to what I'm hearing from them, and I feel for them, because the gas prices ain't 15 cents a gallon anymore like I've seen.